My name is Beatrice Alvarado, and I'm a financial aid counselor, one here at the University of Houston downtown in the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships. So today we're just going to be going over some general information about summer financial aid. So we're going to go ahead and go into the summer financial aid information here. And so basically for our financial aid for the summer, how to qualify here. It states that you need to have your 21-22 FAFSA or TASFA submitted. So generally for the TASFA, you want to make sure that that is submitted by January 15th, just because everything is done manually. So TASFA is always going to be due sooner than the FAFSA. FAFSA, it's actually available on October 1st of every year. So just kind of keep that in mind, that whenever there's October 1st comes around, keep it on your phones, whatever's most convenient. Just make sure to have that on there, that October 1st, have your FAFSA submitted. And then you want to make sure that you are, of course, in compliance with our academic progress requirements, or SAP as we call it for short. Basically, it's 3 requirements where you have to make sure your GPA is good, you're not over a certain amount of hours, and that your rate of completion is in good standing, specifically at 73%. And so you want to make sure that that is completed, or that you're in compliance there. And you want to make sure you register for classes. So you have to be actively enrolled for us to award you. So just kind of keep that in mind, that if you're not enrolled actively for the summer, then it will not pick you up for the summer packaging. So just FYI there, if you don't see it and you're still trying to figure out what classes to pick out, it's because we need you to register. And generally it has to at least be 2 classes. This year we did have a last dollar funding opportunity. And so this opportunity, it was basically for those students that were able to fill out the summer application that was available during April 1st until the 15th. But yes, this opportunity was basically where once you completed that application online, and as long as you had your FAFSA submitted, you submitted that application, your degree seeking, you were enrolled for summer or fall, or if you were set to graduate. So you had to be, it was one of these 2 things, where you had to be enrolled for summer and applied for graduation, or you had to be enrolled for summer and at least 1 course in the fall. It could have been 1 class in the summer, 1 class in the fall, just as long as you were actively enrolled there and had all these other requirements, then that's fine. Then we will be able to see if you qualified for that. Now, of course, if you selected the Gator Cares Direct, that did disqualify students from consideration, but that doesn't mean that you're disqualified from summer financial aid overall. You can still see if you qualify for any kind of federal assistance or even state assistance, but this type of funding in particular was institutional assistance. So that's why certain students will see certain awards versus others. Every financial aid package is different for every student. It's never the same. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. It just also depends on what the eligibility looks like, what the funding looks like. And from there, we're able to let the student know where they kind of stand at with this last dollar funding. Yeah, some important notes here. So some federal and state awards, they do require half-time enrollment. So as I mentioned, it does help whenever you're showing that you're actively enrolled, specifically in at least 2 classes. Generally, as it mentions here, for half-time enrollment, that's at least 6 credit hours. For undergrad, for grad students, it's at least 4. But it does help us to see what you qualify for in regards to your eligibility. Financial aid, it is first come, first serve basis, so just keep that in mind as well. If you're currently on an academic plan or probation, then your eligibility for the summer will be reviewed once grades have posted for the spring. So if you have, if you're on one of these plans, if you're on probation, you don't see an award right away, it's probably because we're waiting for your official grades to post. So just kind of keep that in mind there. Our summer deadline is June 10th. So basically what that means is after June 10th, we won't be able to see if you qualify for anything. So you want to make sure that you have this, that if you have any questions about your summer aid, if you don't see anything come June 1st, really, you want to go ahead and follow up with us just to be on the safe side. And of course, you want to monitor your MyUHD account. So your portal, you can check on your Student Service Center, but you can also check on the scholarships and financial aid tile. And so that tile, it will take you directly to see your fall, spring, and if you have it available, your summer aid. And that way you can see specifically what kind of aid you have pending. On your Student Service Center, it should show it as well. But if you want a little more specifics on it, you want to make sure that you're looking at the scholarships and financial aid tile on the MyUHD portal. they should also send a notification out to your Gator mail. We do have a summer consortium agreement. So basically what this agreement is if you are taking a class here at UHD and a class at another institution, then we can see, basically we can award you based off of all of those classes that you're in, and the money would basically be released here at UHD on your account, but it would pay you as if you're taking all those classes here. So this is an option that we have. It is available online whenever you go to uhd.edu/financial/forms. It's a 3-part form. So basically it's like one page, but the first section, the student fills out. The second section is for an academic advisor here at UHD. And the third section would be to be filled out by the financial aid office at the host school. So let's say you want to take like a class at HCC and here at UHD, you can do that. You just have to make sure that you fill out the first part, second part, UHD academic advisor, and then the third part by the financial aid office at HCC or whatever institution you're seeking. So we do need a copy of your schedule with that form once it is filled out. Usually when you drop it off, they will send it to us. They don't always send the schedule, so you just want to make sure that you follow up with them, you follow up with us, and that way we can make sure that you have everything you need in order to get the award going for the summer, because sometimes this process can take some time. So you want to make sure that you do it in a timely manner. You have to make the payment at the other school, so just kind of keep that in mind as well. And then financial aid funds, they don't transfer, so just kind of keep that in mind as well, because some students think that it's like going to go to that school directly and here, but you can only get financial aid at one institution. So whenever we award you and we see that you're in these classes at UHD and at another institution, we'll award you all the funds here at UHD, but you got to make sure to pay that other school first, and then you just get reimbursed for whatever aid that you're eligible for here at UHD. And by the end of the summer, you submit that transcript that shows that official final grade. And then the deadline for the summer consortium agreement is also June 10th. So just kind of keeping that in mind there. Now the summer awarding, it is automatically awarded if students meet the requirements. Generally with summer awarding, not last dollar funding, that's something separate. That was something that was just implemented this summer. But with general summer awarding, no application is required. So the funds are just based off of the total number of hours that you're enrolled in at the time of the review. So if you're enrolled in one class, then we're gonna see if you qualify for anything with that one class. But if you don't see anything on your awards, then more than likely it's because you either don't qualify for anything for just one class, or you need to be enrolled in at least 2, or depending on what you've utilized in the fall and spring as well. Because sometimes if let's say you didn't go full time in the fall and the spring, let's say you just went half time for both of those terms, then basically what that means is you have that available aid that you didn't utilize in the fall and spring, you have it available for the summer. Now, let's say you decided to also wanted to take out student loans, but you already accepted the max amount for the fall and spring, then you won't have anything available for the summer because you've accepted your max offer for the fall and spring for that academic year. So sometimes you might not see loans on there if you've accepted all of it, but if you haven't, then it's possible that you could see an offer for your summer awards as well. And sometimes it's the only offer you have. Sometimes there is institutional funding available, but if not, then yes, generally we'll make sure that you get the federal, the state, or institutional aid that you do qualify for first. But if you make any changes with your enrollment, you do have to let us know. And generally you can do that with a summer revision request form. So if you've had a change of hours, or maybe your class got canceled, or you had last minute changes, you can submit this form so that way we know, and that way we can make sure that we are awarding you accordingly. And then all the funds are expected to disperse June 1st. So if you don't see any movement by early June, I would say, just double check with us so we can make sure that, you're, like I said, that you're awarded accordingly, that there's nothing else that we need on our end. And that way we can make sure that we have everything that we need to have your aid dispersed in time for payments. So if you need to reach us, of course, this is our information here. We have our hours that are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And then Fridays, we do close at 5 p.m. It's the only day we close at 5. We do have our virtual hours, and I'll make sure to put that link in there again. For our Zoom lobby, that is our link to our webpage, of course, but whenever you go on there, you scroll down, you're gonna see the Zoom lobby link and the password on there. So it's only from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. So just, in case if you're not able to make it through that time, you can also email us. But it generally takes about 24 to 48 hours for someone to get back to you. So just keep that in mind. And of course, you could always give us a call, 713-221-8293. You could call us there in case if you need to reach us directly. And then we also have our social media. So just FYI, we do post a lot on there, on our Facebook, on our Twitter, Instagram. We have our social gators that are great on TikTok. So make sure to follow them also. But other than that, that is pretty much our session for today. We will be having more summer virtual sessions in case you have some other questions that you think of later. Same link that I posted on here is where you can find those summer sessions, but you should be able to see it on our social media as well. So just let us know if you have any other questions in regards to that. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great day.